Yeah, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Again, for today's webinar, it's all about quality. We would want to know and get further understanding of the QMS principles and how to apply them in our various manufacturing units. So today, as usual, WACOMP is coming your way with something very interesting with our expert, our quality expert, Fred Jamina, who will take us through the detailed presentations, and then we would have time to go through your questions and the challenges you have in implementing these in your various outfits. My name is Charles Saki. On behalf of the WACOMP team, we welcome all of you to today's webinar, a series of webinars that we've been organizing over the past few months. We have our various experts on. I see Joseph is here with us, Frank is here, Na, and the others would also join. We welcome all of you. Without taking too much time, I guess we all know WACOMP, but just indulge. Let me crave your indulgence for just 30 seconds to introduce WACOMP properly again to you if you are new. So WACOMP is the West Africa Competitiveness Program. It's a project that is implemented in Ghana by UNIDO. It's funded by the European Union. It's organized, or WACOMP is taking place in all the West African countries. In Ghana, we focusing on cassava and its derivatives. So HQCF, starch, anything cassava, gari, derivative. We have mango and then pineapple, and then we have cosmetics and personal care products. So these are the main commodities that we're focusing on. This webinar is basically on the issue of quality. We want to support our stakeholders and our actors to be able to build and improve the quality in their various production houses so that we produce to meet the quality. So on this note, we would welcome you to today's webinar. My colleague Ebe would launch the poll for us. So we'll take a quick poll for Mr. Jamina to have a fair idea of our backgrounds and what our challenges are in terms of implementing the QMS. And then we'll be able to know how the presentation is there, but it helps him to get people to understand. So how much knowledge you know about the ISO 9000 quality management principles? There are a lot, some aspects or nothing at all. It doesn't matter. Let's be frank, and then it helps him. And then it also helps us as we put experts together to come around to help you to know who we need to recruit and who needs, what works needs to be done. Have you already tried to apply ISO 9000 quality management principles in your businesses? Yes, never, partially. All gives us a fair idea what we need to do. So please, as the poll is up, we have 6 people who have voted. We still need a lot more. We're waiting for the rest. Yes, 10 now. I'm encouraging everybody here to do so that sooner than later we'll be able to share the results with everybody. And then it helps Jamina to know how to proceed. Still waiting for 2 more seconds. We haven't had all. We have just about 66%. I'm encouraging everybody to do. We won't have 100% today, so we know how to proceed on that one. The clock is ticking down, 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 down. Okay, good.
Okay.
So, Mr. Jamina, your work is cut out pretty well.
Okay.
For knowledge about QMS principles, a lot is 10% of our audience, or our participants or attendees. Some aspects, it could be just one single aspect or just a faint idea, 70%, 20%, nothing. So averagely, and then how many have also tried? Never is 50%, partially 30%. So it will also be interesting as we start for you to put in your reasons why you've not been able to apply, or else you've not been able, what's some of the challenges you face in attempting to apply, put these things down so that it helps us during the question time. We don't wait for all the presentations so that we can take questions once it's done. On this note, I hand you over to our expert, Fred, who has been with us over the past couple of weeks to take us through the presentation. So Fred, please take over. Thank you very much. And I'll be in the background listening to everything. Thank you. So Jamina, we can't hear you.
Good morning once again, and thank you very much. Can you hear me now?
That's very faint. Can you speak up?
Hello, can you hear me now? Is the volume okay?
It's still faint.
Then it's 100% on my screen, so I don't know.
Okay, then it's okay. Yeah, we can proceed.
Okay.
Maybe it's mine here. I'll check mine, but you can proceed.
Okay, thank you very much. Once again, I'm Fred Gamra, and we are going to talk about quality issues. I don't want to bore you with some of the technical details of quality management system, QMS, but it is very important for us to know the rationale behind why we said you should apply quality in your operations. To be very frank with you, you cannot grow your business without applying quality principles. It is not possible to grow your business because we are talking about consistency in your quality. Whether it is a product or a service, you need to be very consistent at the level of quality. That is why you are able to describe quality by adding an adjective: high quality, low quality, bad quality. Simple because quality is fit for purpose. The degree at which you can meet the requirements or the needs and expectation of your consumer. Here, I want to broaden the net to say your stakeholder. If you are not able to meet his or her expectation, trust me, you will not grow your business because he will stop buying from you and try somewhere else. So we are going to look at the principle behind this internationally acclaimed quality management document. It is a standard. It is not a product standard. It's a system standard, meaning that you have a system in place. The system is working. The system is delivering consistent quality in your product or service. It started long ago. Those who bought into it are growing their business at a very fast rate. Irrespective of COVID-19, they know how to maneuver, go around, and become very, very resilient. So business continuity, all those management systems, the principles underpinning those systems are what we are going to talk about today. So please, let's try and buy into this concept. And then you may not apply it directly, but you need it. You need it. And that is why you need to WACOMP things. You should take you through this, or at least for you to be conversant with the principles and how to derive the best benefits from applying the management principles. So I'll walk you through what are you going to talk about today. By way of introduction, I've said some few words.
Okay, can you please put it on slide mode for us?
Okay. Just a moment, please. Okay. Sorry. What happened? Okay. Is that okay now?
Yeah, it's okay.
Very good, Charles. Thank you very much. So I'll give you an idea of QMP, which is quality management, the principles, describe the principle, the rationale behind the principle, and then the benefits that you can derive from the principle. So to start with, this is not the ISO 9001 quality requirement standard. It is about the rationale, the brain behind the drafting of ISO 9001. And when you apply the requirements, then you set up what is called a quality management system. And when you implement the system the way it should be implemented, then you get the benefits thereof. So I'll give you some ideas on the actions to take so that you can apply those principles to improve your operation and to grow your business. Then from that discussion, you can draw some conclusions. So I will not take you into the fine details, but at least I'll give you the highlights and you'll be able to understand or assimilate the rationale, the brain behind any management system. So please, this is not a system that you are going to, if you like, set up and implement in your companies, but it is the rationale behind what you do by way of implementing quality management system or food safety management system or environmental management system in your operations. So the definition of a principle is that it is the basic belief, is the theory or the rule that has major influence on the way in which something is done. It's a principle. So quality management principles are a set of fundamental beliefs, norms, rules, and values that are accepted as true and can be used as the basis for quality management. Quality management, quality fit for purpose. Management, plan, direct control, so that you'll be able to achieve your desired targets or objectives. The quality management principle can be used as a foundation to guide you in your performance improvement. So if your performance is just about 40% as of today, after going through this discussion, you should be able to improve it to about 60 or 70%. And you cannot do it by magic. You can only do it by applying these rules, the basic guides that will influence the way you do things. There used to be 8 principles, but they've revised it to 7. I believe most of you have heard these principles in your management, either studies or whatever. It's an evidence-based decision making. Mutually what? Beneficial relationship. Customer focus. You hear all these things, but what does it mean? Anytime I mount a platform to talk about quality, he said, there is no business. You have no business if you don't have a customer. Why are you here today? Because we have people listening to us. WACOMP has people who are interested in what you do. And that is why now we even broaden the scope to say interested parties. You are interested in what you do one way or the other, directly or indirectly. So without customer, there's no business. Try it and you come back and say, no business. Because you open your shop, you open your company, you open the factory, nobody's buying. So what do? You close it and go home. So customer focus. And in Ghana, we use that word maybe literally and loosely, customer focus, but they are not doing anything to entice the customer, to excite the customer, to meet the expectation and the needs of the customer. And that is why you need this principle. Leadership, oh, it's all over the, I will not visit Africa or the world. The leadership, everything is the leadership. Who is a leader? What constitutes, if you like, good leadership, bad leadership? See, you are qualifying. How do we engage the people? Engagement of people, because it's a system. So you have to engage all the interested parties that constitute the system. Process approach. They are not events, they are processes. They are interrelated and interlinked. Interactions and interrelationships are there. And that is what constitutes process approach. So whatever you are doing to improve or to set up anything, any business, you should look at it from the process approach perspective. Process approach perspective. The bigger picture is the system approach. So several processes will constitute a system. And we are talking about what? What is the approach? You start from input, the value addition or the transformation, and then the output. And all the three things that I've mentioned, the principles above, you see them playing very vital role in these processes. Then looking at the process and how you manage the process, you'll be able to determine the things you need to do to improve your operations, improve the quality of your product, improve the quality of the service. Now we want to take decisions. It should be evidence-based. So you have the track record. You've done the trending. You've subjected those raw data to statistics. And based on that, you take decision. It is not about what I think or what I know. What are the facts? Is that the evidence upon which you can base your decision and make progress or grow your business? Evidence-based. So there's no hearsay in this system. The evidence should be there. You should be able to look at the evidence and say, I'm doing well or I'm not doing well. And the modern quality management system standard, that is the recent one, you are talking about your context of the organization. Where are you? Who are your competitors? How do you match up to these competitors? These are things that you need to establish to base your decisions on. What are the risks and opportunities? How do you take advantage of those opportunities? How do you manage the risk? So risk management will come in as one of the things that you need to do, base your decisions on, and grow your business. Relationship management, relationship. So that is why the scope has been extended. It's not only your direct customer who can be either within, that is internal or external, but anybody who is interested in what you do. That is why we say what? Interested parties. But before I go on to look at the principles in detail, I want you to just write these few points down. Why are you talking about, implementing a quality management system in your business, either production or service delivery? The internal, the key phrase here is that you will be able to control all your operations and better communicate with all the departments, all the interested departments. Why do you want to do that? You expect that your staff or people will become accountable as they manage their operations. And they are responsible for certain tasks, and they are authorized to take decisions to make sure things are working. What are you talking about? It will lead to trained and motivated workforce. So you see the relationship management aspect. You will see the leadership principle in there. You will see the engagement of people in there. You will see the process approach. And eventually we're talking about improvement. Here you describe improvement as what? Continual improvement, not continuous. Continual, because you have to do some checking to establish the evidence for you to base your decision on. Cost reduction, because everything is planned, everything is controlled, everything is managed. You've set your targets and you know how to get there. So it will reduce what you call rework because they are failure defects. rejection, and wastage. So eventually, you are talking about effective utilization of your scarce resource, both financial and human resource. What will it be? The examples that you can derive from this is that you drive your production costs down, you increase productivity, you boost your customer satisfaction, you increase your sales, you improve performance, and you expand your business into other sectors. And the bottom line is that what are you doing? You enhance your corporate image. These are the beliefs. So now let's look at it. The first quality management principle, customer focus. Quality management is to meet customer requirements, and you have to strive to exceed their expectations. There are several examples. During my travels around Africa, Europe, and elsewhere, you will see how companies try to what? Exceed the customer's expectation. The difficulty here is that sometimes the expectations are not written. They are perceived. But as a good, if like supplier or vendor or business operator, you should be able to decipher this expectation and needs. So what is it? The rationale here is that you want to sustain success. So it's not a one-time thing. Okay? Once you're able to do that, you attract and retain the confidence of the customer. This COVID period, those who were able to retain the confidence of the customer are the ones that are growing. The challenges are there, nobody disputes that. But those who are able to attract and retain the confidence because they know how to manage their operations even within this COVID-19 period. You interact and you want to understand your customer better. So you understand the current and future needs of your customers, and if you like, the interested parties. Okay? You need funding, but if the provider, the one who's going to give you the money, does not have confidence in your system, because you cannot sustain your quality to be able to become attractive, you will not get the funding. Trust me, you won't get it. So what are some of to sustain the success of your company, please, you must apply. I say you must apply. It's a shall to be able to retain the success in whatever you do. And if you're able to do that, what are the key benefits? Increase customer value. Some are talking about, say, they are ready to pay premium prices for your product because they have so much confidence in the quality of what you are producing. There are several examples. You may not have the time to go through it. But when the customers, I will use the mango experience, were thinking that the quality was not good enough. You see the quality, everything, the value went down until they're able to say that, yes, we are doing something to improve the quality and sustain it. So customer satisfaction. Then it will help you improve your customer loyalty, because the people believe so much in you that they cannot go away. You are partners. Either you are partners in crime or your partners in such a quality, good quality. Talks about enhanced repeat business. Oh, trust me, people will give referrals. If you need this, go here, you will not be disappointed. The reputation of the organization, and then to also help you expand your customer base. In some jurisdictions, even government contracts, they look at your credibility and decide whether they should give you that contract or not. What are the actions? What can you do to realize some of these benefits? Both direct and indirect customers. Those who receive the value from the organization. So one, understand the customer's current and future. We've spoken about that, needs and expectation. The link of your company's objective to customer needs and expectation. Sometimes I walk into the reception of a company and you see their vision and mission statement and objectives. They are not linked up to quality. Trust me, it is just a wish list. Okay? That will help you plan, design, and develop, produce, and deliver the kind of goods or services that will meet the customer's needs and expectation. They should be able to measure and monitor customer satisfaction and take the appropriate action. How do you monitor? It is only when you've established a quality management system based on the ISO 9001, the latest edition, 2015. What will tell you, it will tell you what you need to do to be able to what? Measure customer satisfaction and the actions to be taken if you are not doing well. So you take the appropriate action because you have what? The evidence on which to base your decision as to how you'll be able to satisfy the customer. It will also help you to determine and take actions of the interested party. So in your planning, in your continuous improvement activities, you look at the customer's expectation and needs. Then you manage the relationship. So you see how they interact, all the 7 principles. We are talking about the first principle, but you see, manage relationship with the customer is coming in for you to be able to achieve sustained success, not one time. 2, leadership. Leaders at all levels establish unit of purpose. So when we say people, oh, it's our leaders, at which level? That is vague. Leadership at which level? Because it said leadership at all levels establish unit of purpose and direction and create the conditions in which people are engaged in achieving your company's quality objectives. In other words, to achieve Ghana's quality objectives. So leaders at all levels. Leaders at all levels. We have to drive in this concept of leadership. Ghanaians should buy into this concept, the principle of leadership. We're not saying leadership, you see that triangle at the tip is only one person, but it says management system principle here, the belief here is leaders at all levels. You should be able to establish unit of purpose and direction to create the conditions that will engage people for us to achieve our corporate objectives. Why? The rationale. Creating or the creation of unit of purpose and direction and management of the people will enable your company to align your strategies, policies, processes, and resources to achieve your objectives. So you cut out specific key performer indicators at different levels, at different departments, at different divisions. What are the benefits? Increase effectiveness and efficiency. 2 key words here. Effectiveness and efficiency in meeting your quality objective. It is effective because when you check, it's giving you what you anticipated. Efficient, you spend less resource to achieve that objective. Better coordination of your processes, because I told you that the processes are interrelated and interactive. Improve communication between levels and functions so that it won't be like we and them. Who are we? Who are those you are referring to? A good management system, this impression is not there because there's better coordination among the processes and there's better communication between the levels and functions of the organization. development and improvement of your capability of the company and its people to deliver the desired results, because you have what? Unity of purpose and direction. So leadership. What are some of the actions? Communicate your mission, visions, strategy, policy, because sometimes you go and say, oh, you have your company strategy policy document. How many people within that company, within the establishment, within the organization, even understand the strategy, the vision, the policies? Have you communicated it? Is it understood by all? So that you'll be able to create and sustain shared values. Fairness and what? Ethical models of behavior at all levels. So we and them, that phrase will not exist in your company. Establish a culture of trust and integrity. Some will say, oh, this is our core, whatever, values that they paste it on the wall or on the notice board. What does it mean? Encourage the company-wide commitment to quality. Quality, I said what? Fitness. Is it fit for use? Is it meeting the expectations and the needs of your customers or interested parties? Ensure that the leaders at all levels are positive examples to people, positive example to people in your company or organization. Leaders at all levels. It didn't say the CEO or the MD alone. It said leaders at all levels. Provide people with the required resources, training, and authority to act. With what? Accountability. They've given you the authority, the responsibility. It should come with what? Accountability. Because they provided the resources and the requisite training for you to perform. Try to inspire, encourage, and recognize people's contribution to your success story. The banks are doing well in that area. Some, I would say, at least they will nominate 1 or 2 people as the best worker of the month or the week, just by way of trying to what? Inspire and encourage. And they are therefore doing what? Recognizing your contribution to their success story. These are some of the things. So if nothing at all, please, I'm not saying go and establish a very flamboyant, quality management, but apply some of these principles and take those actions that I have described above. Now, talking about engagement of people, competence by way of what? Skills, experience, and training. Empowered and engage people at all levels throughout your company or your organization. Very, very essential to enhance capability to create and deliver value. Enhance your capability to create and deliver values. So you need competent, empowered, engage people at all levels of your company. What is the rationale behind this principle? To manage an organization or a company effectively and efficiently, it is important to involve all the people at all levels and to respect them as individuals. Talking about recognize, empowerment, and enhance their competence so that you can facilitate the engagement of the people in achieving the company's quality objectives. That is the brain behind this, the reasoning behind this, the myth, or if you like, otherwise, behind this quality principle. Why? What are the benefits? Improve understanding. Okay? And that will motivate them to achieve the corporate objective. to enhance the involvement of the people in all your improvement activities. Everybody will buy in your vision. Personal development initiatives. Sometimes, some of us, you always say that you want to be associated with the winning team. When the company is making it big, it's a flashy, then you always want to associate with that company because you are engaged, you are part of the people who made it happen. That should be the principle. Then the people are talking about satisfaction. It's not only the money or the pay you give them, but when they see that they are part and parcel, they are engaged in the improvement activities, the satisfaction is achieved. Trust and collaboration through your company. Trust, collaboration throughout your company. Very key. Attention to shared values and culture throughout. Attention to shared values. It's nobody's property. You share those values and culture throughout the company. And that should be inspired by leadership at all levels. Well, what are the actions? What can you do to ensure this happens in your company or your organization? Communicate with people to promote understanding. Communicate. Communication is key. Talk, let them understand the importance of everybody, individual contribution. So you promote the collaboration. You facilitate open discussion and shared knowledge. Hey, here, problem. Shared knowledge and experience. People will take their knowledge and put it in their pocket when they know that in a year or 2 years' time, they are going on retirement. No succession plan. And even if there is, they will not share their knowledge and experience with the youth. Bad practice. Encourage people to determine the constraints to performance and to take initiatives without fear. It's only when you empower them, authorize them, engage them, and let them feel that they can take decisions. They may have it right or wrong, but always there is a second chance. Let them improve. Tell them that you failed this time. If you fail, don't give up. Try again and succeed. When I was in kindergarten, that's how I'll fail exams. I say, tomorrow I won't fail. I'll even do better. I'll become number one, second to none. That is how you encourage people to succeed, to improve. Enable self-evaluation of performance against personal objectives. That is why when you set the KPIs, key performance at the unit or department level, everybody is assessed. And when you find people weak in certain areas, you don't throw them away. You help them to better themselves, to improve and to correct. Self-assessment, self-evaluation. Conduct the survey to assess people's satisfaction. Communicate the results and take the appropriate action. When people are exiting, do you conduct exit interviews? Try to do some kind of informal discussion to know why they are leaving. Else, you lose your competent staff day after day. 4, process approach. Consistent and predictable results are achieved more effectively and efficiently when activities are understood and managed as an interrelated processes that functions as a coherent system. So this kind of, you are in your small box corner somewhere doing your own thing will not work. Processes should interrelate and interact right from the input through the transformation, which is a value addition to the output. There should be that kind of linkages, that interaction, that interrelationship. These two words, use them, don't separate them. You interact, you interrelate, because it is a process. Process 1's output will become process 2's input, and in that sequence. So garbage in, somebody will try to fix the garbage. He may not get it 100%, and it will lead to the output. So that is why we normally say garbage in, garbage out. So always be reminded that your input, your output is somebody's input. And therefore, you want to give a quality output so that the person, the process after you, have a quality input to work with. Then it makes the transformation phase, the value addition phase, very, very effective and efficient. The rationale, quality management consists of, I've talked about the processes, it is not an event. So understanding how results are produced by this system enable your company to optimize the system and its performance. That is why quality management system implementation is key if you really want to succeed and grow your business. Enhance ability to focus effort on key processes and opportunities for improvement. Predictable. You can predict your outcomes through those systems and you align your processes. Optimize performance through effective process management, effective use of resources, and reduce what? Cross-functional barriers. Don't sit in your small corner and think success depends only on that unit or the department. It doesn't work that way. Some actions to be taken. Define the objectives of the system and link them so that you have the corporate objectives. Establish authority, responsibility, and accountability for all management processes. Understand and determine the resource constraints prior to action. So manage the processes and its integration as a system to achieve your collective objectives. And please ensure that the necessary information is available to operate so that you'll be able to improve upon your processes, monitor, analyze, and evaluate the performance of the overall system. Make risk that can, manage risk that can affect your output. So first, you determine the risk, potential risk, and the rare risk, and how you can manage them so that the overall outcomes, the quality system will be achieved. Principle number 5, improvement. All successful organizations have an ongoing focus on improvement. That's why you say continual improvements, ongoing. Improvement is essential for your company or your organization to maintain your current levels of performance. If nothing at all, maintain the current level. React to changes in its internal and external conditions and create new opportunities so that you can grow your business. COVID, fine. What do? You manage those risks that came along with COVID. Okay? React to the changes. That's why you should be what? Put in place resilient systems. The standards are there to help you do that so that you grow your business in spite of these challenges. Manage the internal and external conditions so that you can leverage on that and improve your business. So the opportunities are there. You say risk, threats, your weakness, your strength. Leverage on the weakness. Let your strength show so that you turn those risks into opportunities. When you go into the ISO 9000, establish an implementation, I'll go into details and you see how to do that. The systems are there to help you do that. So in spite of that, because when they are developing the system, they know one day there may be challenges in the world. So how you apply this principle depends on the challenges that you are facing at any material moment. What are the benefits? Improve process performance. You should know what process performance means. Organization capabilities and customer satisfaction. If you don't sign on to some of this quality webinar, you will not understand all this. These are all management jargons that you throw around, but it's doable. Performance, process performance, improvement tools and techniques. They are there, they are available. Enhanced focus on root cause investigation. Hey, if you fail to do the proper root cause analysis, investigation, and determine the appropriate measures or correction, preventive and corrective actions to take, please, the problem will keep coming. In drones, they will multiply because as you expand the operations, the risk will also multiply. And therefore, you should be able to do proper root cause investigation or analysis so that you can design the best fits corrective measure. Enhance the ability to anticipate and react to internal and external risk. I've said that before. Enhance consideration of both incremental and breakthrough improvements. Improvement is key for you to grow your business. Improve use of learning tools and techniques for your improvement activities. And it also enhances your drive for innovation. So that's how you do it all the time. Does not apply in quality management system. Find a way of doing it better. If nothing at all, maintain your level, the status quo. Please have the drive for innovation because we are facing challenges. Come out with new ways of doing things for you to succeed, not once, but consistently. What are some of the actions to take? Promote the establishment of improvement objectives at all levels. Educate and train your staff at all levels. Apply the basic tools and methodologies to achieve improvement objectives. Ensure people are competent to successfully promote and complete improvement projects. Develop and deploy processes to implement improvement projects throughout the organization at all levels. That's why I said the leadership at all levels. Track, review, and audit the planning, implementation. That is a full cycle. You plan, you deploy or implement the plan, you evaluate that, you check, and you find out to what? Do the corrections. That is the PDCA cycle, the Deming Quality System cycle. You plan, you implement the plan, do some monitoring and evaluation, check where you went wrong, and correct yourself, and then the results or the findings, you plow it back in your planning. That is how you succeed. And please, I've said, recognize and acknowledge improvement and the people who were part and parcel of that success story. 6, evidence-based. I like this principle because hearsay, I think, and all those things will not help you grow your business. It will never. So base your decisions on the analysis and evaluation of data and information. And please monitor this because you've done the customer survey thing. Is that a true picture or the marketing people are trying to, play the big guys? They are doing well. Any other division or department or unit in the company is not doing well. Please base your decision on the evaluation of data and the information that is gathered, and even how the survey was conducted. Is it scientific enough? Is the sample size good enough to give you any evidence on which you can base your decision? Otherwise, you are planning to fail. I'll repeat that statement. Otherwise, you are planning to fail because the information, the facts, the data is flawed. Decision making can be a very complex process, but it should be able to give you some kind of information, reliable information, because it involves some levels of uncertainty. So, for instance, in WACOMP, you know WACOMP's lab activities, we are encouraging them to be able to measure and determine the uncertainty levels, because we want to rationalize the data, the information that are getting, so that they can base their lab decisions on those reliable, measured, and interpreted results. So it is important to understand the cause and effect relationship. This is a quality tool. This is quality management you cannot do without it. Please, I will encourage you to sign on. I'm not saying that go and implement, but it will enhance your capability, the way you manage your companies. Because you should understand cause and effect relationship. For every defective product, there are several causes to that will lead you to that. The cause and effect, some will call it the fishbone approach, the Ishikawa, where you are able to identify all the causes and make the best, if you like, the determination what led to that defect. So there is a relationship between cause and effect. Okay? And talking about the potential unintended consequence. The facts, the evidence, and the data analysis that will lead to greater objectivity and confidence of the decision that you've taken. What are the benefits? Improve decision-making process. That is why it is tedious, it's challenging, but it's doable. Assessment of process performance and ability to achieve objective. Look, sometimes when you see the objective drawn up, it doesn't relate to the reality. So please, it's just a wish list. You can never achieve those objectives. Operational effectiveness and efficiency. Sometimes you have to go back to your company history in terms of sales, data, records, and the complaints that you receive, the quality levels of your products or the service that you deliver, so that you'll be able to review, challenge yourself, and change opinions and decisions, because you erred in the past and now you've seen the light. You have a way of checking it. That will increase the ability to demonstrate the effectiveness of past decisions. What went wrong? Maybe the knowledge was scanty, you didn't have enough literature to support the decision. Now you have it. What are the actions? Determine, measure, and monitor key indicators. Even setting up the key indicators can be a challenge. It's a risk. If you put the wrong person in terms of competence to head a unit, you see that principle of leadership, you miss that point and you fail. But the person is not capable to give you the desired performance or improvement that you are targeting. He doesn't understand anything. He doesn't even understand your operations. He's just sitting there, post box, anything, you push it, empty, sign, approved. It doesn't work that way. The person should be competent, the responsibility that has been assigned to him. So you are talking about data and information are sufficiently accurate and reliable. And also, they should be secure. That is how you secure or control your records. Data management controls, so that it will not leak. By the time you say Jack, it's all over the place. That will not help the company. Then also, you should be able to have very good tools, quality tools to evaluate your data and information. Here you are talking about the suitable methods. It's part of those quality tools, that is the cause and effect analysis. If the method is not suitable, it's not appropriate for that particular process, please, you will fail. You will not get the desired results. So they should be able to analyze and evaluate the data because they have the skills, they have the competence, they have the experience, so that you make decisions and take actions based on evidence, balanced with experience and intuition. Balance with what? Because the person competent by way of education, skills, and experience. So the seventh one is talking about relationship management. For sustained success, manage your relationship, because it will influence the performance of the organization and how you sustain your success. So benefit performance, we're talking about performance of the company or the organization and its interested party through responding to opportunities and constraints related to the people you are talking about, interested parties. Common understanding of goals and values. Increase capability to create value for interested parties and by sharing resources and competence and managing quality related risks. Well-managed supply chain that will provide a stable flow of goods and services. I like the last statement. Well-managed supply chain that provides suitable. So now you are talking about, the value chains, well-managed, so that you'll be able to sustain the goods and services, that export business, expand what you do and sell more, make more profits, because we're able to cut down production costs so that you can expand our operations and even win more contracts. Several things to do. First and foremost, you should be able to determine your interested parties. I've mentioned a few examples here. If you don't know them, you are in big trouble. And ISO will help you do the identification. The priorities, establish it, the relationship, and then you have that pool and share information so that they'll tell you that, look, the pineapple market in Asia is not good enough, so don't go there, go to Europe. You are sharing information with your interested parties. Collaborative development and improvement activities with your suppliers or partners and other interests. When we were talking previously about, ensuring that the quality in terms of food safety, right from the primary production side through to where you consume, that kind of things, if you are able to collaborate and share some of those activities, the things that you do to improve and enhance your quality with all these partners, that is good. That is what this principle was talking about. Encourage and recognize improvement and achievement by suppliers and other partners. Let them know that they are part and parcel, they contributed significantly to your success, and you want to recognize them as such. Now, let's draw some conclusions. Many different ways of applying this quality management principle. I've mentioned a few in the examples and the actions to take. The nature of your challenge or your company's specific challenges it faces as you speak will determine how to implement them. If you have challenge with customers, if you have challenge in how to manage your processes to achieve the best or the desired results, will determine which of these 7 principles you should apply as the key to resolve some of those challenges. I should tell you, many companies will find this very, very beneficial, and that will lead to the setting up of a quality management system. And I said, your system, irrespective whether food safety management, environmental, occupational health and safety, it should be based on these 7 principles. They are management principles that you can apply in your business to achieve sustained growth and improvement. Thank you very much for the attention given to me so far. Your questions?
Thank you very much, Fred.
Yes.
For such detailed presentation. And I'm sure so far we haven't had any questions in the box, but usually the questions start after presentation. So I'll entreat all members, attendees who have questions to please put it in the Q&A box for us so that Fred can take the questions. Thank you for walking us through the 7 management principles. I mean, I must say before, we've had, I wouldn't say complaints, but concerns from a number of our key stakeholders, as you put it, that these things are not implementable. I only have 3 people, 2 people, and it's difficult. But I like the way you went about the presentation. That these principles, it doesn't matter whether you are small, medium, or very large, they are still principles that we all need to implement to get our business running and more profitable. So still, we're waiting for questions. If there is any question, we would gladly respond to that, unless that the presentation has also been very clear that everybody understands, or like the teachers would say, then it's also it could be the other side of the coin that nobody understood anything. But from where I sat following, I understood everything, so I believe it's still the same. Okay, so I have a question. You said that about people. So Fred, if you have KPIs for your staff, and consistently the staff is not able to meet the KPI, what will you advise we do as entrepreneurs? What would be your advice for us? Your mic is muted, please.
Like I mentioned earlier, your root cause analysis should be always at your fingertips. What are the contributing factors? Why are they not able to meet the KPI? What is the basis of setting those performance indicators? Is it related to their job function? Or you copied it from somewhere and just lump it down there? Where the indicator has nothing to do with the specific job. For instance, I have a janitor, where you call a cleaner in my factory, okay? And then we are doing the performance evaluation, what we call performance evaluation. And then there's a column that actually will award some marks, and it says lack of what? Initiative. Is that related to his job function? What kind of initiative? When I see such checklists, I cross it out. I say, go and revise it and do it again. This is a copy and paste kind of performance indicator that I've given to this guy. So your performance should be able to relate to the job function, what you've assigned to the person, and whether you've provided the needed resources for you to accomplish that job, that task. For instance, I say, go out there and sell 30 product standards. And I've not developed a 30 product standard. What am I there to go and sell? What am I going to sell? What are the standards to be sold? When I see things like that, I say, it's copy and paste. So your indicator should relate to the job function. It should also relate to what the person was recruited to do. Are you trying to, if like, assist somebody, a substantial head, and it will depend on the rate. And you see, there's something in job description that we said, other duties from time to time. It's vague. Because you have not prescribed anything. So what are you going to evaluate? What are the other duties? Is it automatic that every day other duties will show up? So at the end of the month, there's no other duty. So you score me 0 on that point. Hey, when you take you through human resource, proper human resource training, you realize there is an issue there and you have to address it. And that is the root cause analysis I'm talking about. Right. So you take out all those things that are not realistic. It should be very realistic, measurable, smart.
So now we have some few questions. So the first concern is that looking at the quality assurance that we've discussed, somebody thinks or is asking that, should it be if it looks like it's within the whole organization and also the external environment? Yes. So should quality management be seen as an advisory service, or it should be integrated into every stage of the organization?
Every stage, because you're talking about every stage, depend on, see, some cases it's just, supplementary, or in some cases it's the key. So at each stage, in terms of the weighting will differ, but it's a quality at each stage of your operation.
Right. So the answer is very clear. It should be integrated into every stage of the organization for quality to be seen, and not as an advisory service who just comes in once a while and then disappears.
Exactly so.
So then the follow-up question is that, would you then advocate for the setting up of a quality department in every organization?
It depends on how you define a department. It can be a desk, it can even be a unit, but there should be somebody who is trying to manage the quality assurance processes.
Okay.
The quality assurance processes. So, it should be well defined and said you are in charge of, making sure that the quality assurance is perfect. It's better than quality control. Assurance, you predict all the potential challenges and you come out with measures to address those challenges.
I think we've exhausted our questions. Is there anything more you would want to put across? Maybe on my side, reacting to the earlier comments we've been receiving.
Yes.
Maybe I would want you to assure our attendees that irrespective of the numbers of people we work with, irrespective of the volume of our sales, irrespective of the external environment, we can still put in this QMS 7 principles and make them work. So that I like what you said during the presentation, that to create new opportunities for our business to grow. So that in implementing this, I want you to encourage them as your last bit whilst we bring this session to a close. Thank you very much, Fred.
Thank you too. Yes, I've said and I'll repeat myself, quality cuts across all companies, being it in the manufacturing, production, or service. You are doing that to, like you're saying, to assure your interested parties that the quality of your service or product is consistent. You have in place all the the tools or the things that you need to meet their expectation consistently, not once. Okay, and I said these principles underpin all the specific quality management standards. Okay, so I will encourage you, whether you are implementing a quality management system based on the ISO 9000, either you are implementing food safety, either based on the 22000 or HACCP, either you are implementing occupational health and safety standard, either you are implementing environmental management system, either you are implementing information security system. Now, the management systems are many, depending on your operation. But these principles, that 7 principles, underpins all. All. Because when you go into those various specific management system standards, they are talking about customer focus. What does it mean? How do you, in that case, it becomes a requirement. And if it is a shall, you have no option than to implement that and show the evidence that you've implemented it and you are getting the desired result. So I'll encourage you, everybody, all and sundry, that applying these principles, irrespective of where you find yourself, if you really want to sustain your business, because the big guys, the smart guys will come and kick you out. Because when you have challenges, you don't know what to do to resolve those challenges. You are not even able to define or determine your risks and opportunities. I'm saying that somebody will take advantage of the risk that you are encountering, make something out of it and kick you out of business. That is the challenge in business now. The systems are there to help you grow and improve on your operations. So please, I will encourage you. We are not saying that whether you are 2 or 3. Look, some of us, our companies are not big, but the people that work with, they understand this principle. So wherever they go, even time management, they won't play with it. You said we want to start training at 9, and you are coming to set your equipment at 10. Is that how you relate to your customers? They'll kick you out and you lose that job. So that is some of the things. You want to take orders and you even don't know when your raw materials will arrive. How long does it take to, I say the input, convert the input into the value in the transformation? How long does it take for logistics to ship? You don't know all this and you think you can keep your orders. Trust me, you will lose it in no time. So it doesn't matter whether you're small, micro, or the principles are the same. When you apply it well, the benefits cuts across. Thank you.
So there's this other question that how much emphasis should we place on our risk register?
Very, very important. It depends. If it's not environmental thing, they were saying determine your risk profile and the measures to be taken. The risk determination depends on the kind of thing you do. But for the environment, your risk register is one. Everybody who comes to your factory says, can I have a look at your risk register before you start asking the detailed questions? Yes, 9,000 is set one of the critical requirements that you should identify your risk and opportunities and actions to be taken to address the risk and opportunities. So it's a requirement.
Okay. Somebody is asking that if they purchase the ISO 9001 documents, is there a template or a sample that can help them to review to be able to develop same for their businesses?
Yeah, you do first of all document review. You check your existing operations against the requirement of the standard cross by cross. So in most cases, you need somebody, an expert or a consultant to hold your hands to go through that exercise. Because some of them, the interpretation is just like taking the constitution, and then even the lawyers, they are struggling to be on the same page when it comes to the interpretation of the various clauses. But there are, templates, if you like, checklists that you can use to assess whether you are meeting the requirements defined in the standard or not. All the standards, they should be able to have a template, a checklist, we call it a checklist to check whether they are doing things. Because sometimes you realize that what they are doing in the factory or the company is at variance with what the standard is asking for.
Right. Now we have some questions on ISO. But maybe I would take this opportunity to announce to all our listeners that next week we are here, same time next week Friday, talking about anything concerned with ISO 9000. So those who are asking questions about 9000, 9001, whether you can implement 9000 or 9001 or any of these, please put your questions together. Join us same time next week, 11 o'clock sharp. And I think like Mr. Jamna said, WACOMP, we are customer focused. Yes. And then we also like to engage our partners, and we are always improving. So you see, before you even ask a question, we've already thought of you and we are ready to come your way. I think that's why we are in business and that's why we are growing. See, so when you were presenting, I was checking WACOMP against the 7 principles to see how we perform. We are doing well. So please, next week we'll be here same time to talk about ISO 9001 and all ISO related issues. So please come around next week. The link for registration will come out so that you can start registering, preparing yourself, and then you show up. Then maybe the last one, Fred, before we wrap up. Yes. I find this one very interesting. It says, is quality an attitude or a department?
Quality is an attitude.
Thank you.
That defines how you look at things. And then there was another question about, can the company implement 9000 and 9001? 9000 is just a vocabulary. It's like your Oxford dictionary. 9001 is the auditor. We say auditable standard. That defines the requirement that you need to meet to be certified as ISO 9000 compliant company. Please have said it is not a product. So you see, on the radio, you hear people say, the company is ISO 9000 certified. you should qualify as an ISO 9000 compliant company. It's a system. So if you are meeting the requirements of the system, then and the ISO does not certify. It's a certification body. Next week, you see that I'll give you quite a number of examples of accredited bodies that will do that attestation and give you that certification. It's a testimonial that you apply ISO 9000 standard principles in your operation, and therefore you comply with that global standard requirements.
All right. So thank you very much, Fred, and thank you for all our attendees, our participants. Like we said, you can also keep marking WACOMP against the 7 principles, and I think we are performing well. We are over 70%. If we, yeah. So we thank you so much for joining us. And like we said, next week, Friday, same time, 11 o'clock, up to about 11:20, 11:30, 12:30, we would come your way again with a detailed presentation on ISO. Anything ISO, please come along and then spread the word, tell your friends, tell everybody to come and listen so that we can continually improve. On behalf of the WACOMP team, on my colleague Fred's behalf, on Ebe, Joseph, Na, Frank, and Kwame, and everybody associated with WACOMP, we want to thank you so much for joining us. If you have any concerns, any problems, contact your cluster experts. So for cosmetics, Na, for cassava derivatives, Joseph, and also for fruits, you contact Frank. Like we said, we're building a team, we're looking at your needs so that we can respond and help you improve whilst we also deliver good services to you. So we meet again next week. We want to thank all of you so much for joining us. Keep safe, enjoy the weekend, and we meet same time next week. On behalf of the team, we say bye-bye.
Bye.